Namo tassa bhagavato arahato sammasambuddhassa tang dhammang sanghang namassami. Once again, very happy. Welcome to one and all. And as we have just finished our meditation, it's the right time to listen to the Dhamma Discourse. Dhamma is the word, are the words of the Buddha that we hear so that we can understand. And when we listen to the Dhamma Discourse, it is a way to understand the reality of our lives. So the whole teachings that the Buddha has given has a specific purpose of guiding the minds of the people step by step, uplifting it upward so that the wisdom arises, the reality of the true nature of the life arises. So it is a way of purification, inner purification, gradual inner purification, listening to the Dhamma Discourse. So always we must listen with this kind of mind. Anything else, whether it is for the sake of just for the sake of learning something or just for the sake of intellectual understanding or discussions, are always secondary. They should never be a priority for listening to a Dhamma Discourse, because they are not the reason why the Buddha gave the Dhamma. The Buddha gave the Dhamma out of compassion to purify the minds of beings to understand the Four Noble Truths. That is the fundamental reason the Buddha has taught the Dhamma. So it always has to be connected with the Four Noble Truths. And then in his own words, the Buddha has also said that only two things that I teach. One is the suffering exists, and also the freedom from suffering also can be found. These are the two things that are fundamental to the understanding of Dhamma, learning of Dhamma, and practicing of Dhamma. So today we will talk about a sutta called Acchariya-abbhuta. Very Acharya, unthinkable and incredible things. That there are 2-3 of them. Then we are talking about the second Acchariya-abbhuta sutta from the Anguttara Nikaya, the book of 4. And here Lord Buddha is talking about 4 special things that happens with the arising of the Sammasambuddha in this world. So Sammasambuddhas, they appear when the things are right. They do not appear at all times. They do not leave at all times. They leave only at a time when things are right. The minds of the people are more receptive towards the Dhamma teaching. They're able to understand and realize it quickly. For example, this is the time of the Buddha Sasana. So we are all fortunate to be born here. But then also there are some changes. For example, now it is not possible that kind of people who in large numbers who heard the Dhamma from the Lord Buddha the monks or the nuns or lay people, and then they used to be enlightened. Many of them used to become arahants. Many of them used to become sotapanna, sagatagami in large numbers. Now, at this point of time, such a thing is not possible, because that is only when the Buddha is physically being present. For example, what we call the Patisamvida Jnana Arahants, the Arahants who are able to, who know the meaning and grammar and everything of entire words, Buddha Vachana, all the words of the Buddha, Patisamvida Jnana Arahants. Such Arahants, they do not exist anymore. They existed up to all the time of Emperor Ashoka, around 250 years to 300 years of Lord Buddha's Mahaparinibbana. But such arahants do not exist anymore, because that is the way of that is also part of Dhamma Niyama. When the Buddhas are physically present, things are different. When they attain Mahaparinibbana, after some time, things are another different, and gradually things will be different. But the important thing is the teachings, the main teachings and instructions that the Buddha has given are still with us. So it is still possible for people to learn and practice and realize the Magga and the Phala, which is very much possible. Even now, till the end of the Buddha Sasana, this is possible. So these four special things that the Lord Buddha has mentioned, with the arising of a Sammasambuddha, when the Sammasambuddhas arise and when their sasana exists. So these are four special things that Buddha says that are generally not found. That are generally not found in this world, but when the Sammasambuddhas arise and they teach the Dhamma, these things can be seen. So when there is no Buddha Sasana, these four things we will probably not see, not encounter. But only when the Buddha Sasana is there, we will see these things. First thing what he says is, people generally like clinging. They love and enjoy it. So clinging to things, clinging to the idea of a self, for example, I or me or mine, or clinging to the ideas or perceptions or views or material things, just like our body or the mental phenomena, our mind, or anything external. So there are different types of clingings, four types of clingings: kama upadana, silabhata upadana, attabhada upadana, ditthi upadana. But the thing is clinging to some kind of mental or material phenomena, basically. So that clinging comes from craving. So people have craving. They crave to have pleasant experiences. They also crave to avoid unpleasant experiences. So in both ways, they are caught in the wave of craving. That is the second noble truth that the Lord Buddha has taught, that kama tanha, bhava tanha, and vibhava tanha. In these three ways, beings are caught by the liking and disliking. So this wave of liking and disliking, and it leads to, when people repeat it, people do it again and again, people are delighting in it, then it becomes a clinging, a very strong, powerful clinging or attachment, or something that you really try to hold on to very tightly, in whether it is physical, whether it is mental. And this is clinging. And then Lord Buddha is saying, people love it, people enjoy it, because they have been addicted to it, not just in this life, but life after life. And then when the Sammasambuddhas arise in this world, and then they teach the Dhamma of non-clinging, then people want to listen. They listen and then they try to understand. So when Sammasambuddhas arise, what do they teach? That it is because of this clinging that you are going into the cycle of birth, rebirth, and suffering, and not being able to come out of suffering because of this clinging. And you have to let go of the clinging through the practice of Noble Eightfold Path. So this is the teaching. When the Sammasambuddhas teach in this world, so then people pay attention, they listen, and they try to understand the meaning. What is the meaning of non-clinging? For example, even now, for example, clinging is for majority of the people, clinging is the way of basic way of functioning through the in their lives, through the clinging, what they do, whether they were people want to be successful or rich or famous or whatever it is, some kind of clinging only people delight, people enjoy. But but when people encounter the teachings of the Lord Buddha, and the Buddha says, you have to look into your clinging. This clinging is what causes the suffering to arise. Then people try to pay attention. They try to understand the meaning. So this is the first special thing, because in this world, clinging is so powerful, and so it is everywhere. To talk about non-clinging, to think about non-clinging, try to understand the meaning of non-clinging is indeed a special thing. So this is the first special thing that arises, that happens with the arising of Sammasambuddha. And then people like conceit, love, and they love and enjoy it. Mana. Mana comes from the idea of I, me, mine, something. So if there is a idea of I, me, mine first, then that I will be comparing with others. I am superior, I am inferior, I am equal to other people. First we have to have an I, and then that I will automatically try to, when we have, then it will compare. I'm better than other people. I am not so, I'm worse than those people, or I'm equal to those people. So conceit, sense of I, but in a subtle way. What a sense of I in a gross and more connected to the I, me, mine, is what we call a Sakkaya-ditthi, or a self-view, view of a self, primarily rooted in the body and also in the mind. So that's why people, when they say, sometimes people say, oh, your doctor will say, you are going to die in after 3 months. Then some people can be afraid or scared, because that thing is that when people say, oh, you're going to die, means this body will not be there, because there is a very strong clinging to the body with a sense of I, me, mine. This is Sakkaya-ditthi. And in a subtle way, this is also that leads to mana, conceit. Something is there, something, even if it is not very gross, even if it is subtle. So that is that something, mana, some I, some I-ness. And that can lead to also comparison of better, worse, equal, whatever it is in this world. And then whole world is living by these comparisons. Parents will tell their children, you see, the other children in the school are better than you. Or some of them say, oh, they are not so good as you, or you are equal to them. Like this. Just one example. Like there are so many. In fact, in the all life, we always, in subtle ways, our mind is always calculating and measuring. Minati iti mana. So it is always measuring, little better, little worse, little up, little down, always measuring these things. And that measurement comes from the sense of I. And this, what Lord Buddha says is, when the Sammasambuddha arises in the world and he teaches the Dhamma, people want to listen, people want to understand. People want to listen and they want to understand. Oh, okay, I have been living like this with all the time thinking, either speaking or if not speaking, but thinking with a strong sense of I. And then when the Buddha says, you have to see through this and understand there is no I, then this is the special thing that people really want to listen. People always ask questions about anatta. What is anatta? Not atta, no self. empty of anything permanent or stable or anything everlasting, never changing. So this is special because this is something that only the Sammasambuddhas have realized by themselves, and they only can teach such a thing. That even if in the subtlest way also you will not see there is something permanent or I or me or mine. It's just the phenomena. Suddha Sankhara Punjoti, like this it is mentioned in the Samyutta Nikaya. One Kuni, who was an Arahant Theri, she mentioned, when Mara asked her, she had mentioned like this: Suddha Sankhara Punjoti, which is like the pure heap of pure collection, pure bundle of conditioned phenomena, nothing really essence, no essence here, just a bundle of things that are changing, conditioned phenomena. So this is the special thing that people want to hear and people want to understand. Because first to see, first to hear, okay, there is big or small, gross or subtle, there is no I, there is no I, me or mine. So therefore there are no comparisons, or there should not be any measurements. This itself is very unusual and shocking for the world. Worldly way of doing is very different. So this, but when Buddha is teaching, just or later on the teachings are spoken by other people, monks and nuns, and all discussed by other people. People want to know about it because that itself is special, because the world is guided by I, and to talk about no I is indeed special. And then the third thing Lord Buddha talks about is people like excitement. Excited, they want they love and enjoy it. People always want some kind of excitement. Said today is Sunday, so people will go to some restaurant, they'll go and watch a movie, or they will go to some shopping mall, or they'll go to some garden, or they'll go to some place to see. It is not necessarily bad or evil, but the thing is, it is, if you ask me, it is very big akusala. No, it is not very big akusala. But the thing is, this is working of the moha, working of avijja. It is not big akusala. You go to some park or garden or one shopping mall, or some lay people, I'm saying, go and come or buy something or eat something. Not so much akusala it is. Not so much bad or horrible thing that I have done. Not like that. But then there is a sense of excitement. This was nice. This is nice. I want this. I don't want this. This one I will take. This one I will not take. This one I will eat. This one I will not eat. Like this. So that sense of excitement comes from where? It comes from our craving. It comes from our avijja. So this is always rooted in avijja and tanha. So though it is not very big akusala, but it's still that subtle avijja and tanha, ignorance and craving is playing in our mind when we are getting excited with any kind of things that is coming through our way. We experience the world through these senses. We have the six senses, and then six sense based ayatana and six arammana, sense objects. Eye has visible things, ear has sound, nose has smell, tongue has taste, and body has touch sensations, and mind has thoughts and feelings. So we are experiencing the world. When we say I experience the world, you can only experience in these ways. Or else you can experience through the realization of lokuttara, but which is not, which is rarest of the rare. Only enlightened people experience, which is beyond the six senses, which is beyond mind and matter, beyond everything. That is lokuttara. That is only enlightened people experience. So when people are experiencing these sense objects, whatever is pleasant and agreeable, there will arise an excitement. Whatever is unpleasant or disagreeable, there also will arise some sense of excitement. No, I don't like this. No, I will avoid this. Like this. It can be small, it can be big. Now, whatever it is, That sense of excitement comes from ignorance and craving. I want this, it will lead to happiness. I will avoid this, that will also lead to happiness. So, this is how the mind is working. And this is the play of ignorance and craving. And this is what the Buddha is saying. When Sammasambuddhas arise in the world and then they teach the Dhamma, people want to listen. Excitement, because generally you can see most of the people love a little bit of excitement. So, big or small, that can vary, but little bit of excitement in life, but whether through anything that is coming through the six senses. And then when the Buddha is teaching, that's why people say in our Narasipura, so many people, and they come and meditate. They attend the meditation retreats. Hundreds of people in a year, thousands of people, more than thousands of people attend. Now they have to take leave, they have to give up their phone, or they have to cut off from the everything for 4, 5, 6 days, 7 days, whatever, and come there and meditate. And there is no sense enjoyment as such. There is no entertainment. There is nothing. They will not be allowed to speak and all these things. So, but still people come. Or Sunday, for example, you have come here. Now you have come here, you can go to some other place, but you can think, okay, at least for some time we can go to the vihara. At least for some time we can listen to something different from the world. Because what is connected with the world also connected with excitement. So, what is Dhamma is telling you to be moving away from excitement gradually. So, this is also, you can say, a letting go of your excitements for some time. There is no entertainment here. There is just a pure what the words of the Buddha. But then mind but still people are willing to listen and they are trying to understand the meaning. Oh, okay, this is something very different, but I will try to understand what it is, though this is different from my normal life. So this is the third special thing the Buddha says. Let people want to listen about non-excitement, Dhamma of peace. They want to listen. Dhamma of not restlessness but peacefulness and non-excitement. They want to listen. And then the fourth one, the population is lost in ignorance, swaddled in their shells. The generation of people is lost in ignorance. So avijja, not knowing the Four Noble Truths, what is suffering, what is the cause, how to end the suffering, not having the idea, whether it is day-to-day people driving auto rickshaw or it is Donald Trump. It is all the same because that same avijja. People are different, places different, foods different, language different, but the avijja is not different. That is the great understanding of a Sammasambuddha. The avijja is not different. Craving, tanha is not different. People can be different. They're coming from different places, different ideas, different philosophies, different food, different language, different culture. But still the avijja and the tanha still the same. The way it arises in the mind, the way it conditions the mind, the way it can be removed or abandoned, it's still the same. That's why Four Noble Truths, we say universal truth, because dukkha, whatever it is, whether it is not like only people in India will listen to Four Noble Truths and if they understand, they will become Sotapanna. People from Africa or Europe or America listen, they will not become. It is not like that. Anybody who understands it correctly, they will become. Simple. So this ignorance and swaddled in their shells, covered like a shell, like a shell, it has covered the minds of the people, the ignorance. When the Sammasambuddha arises and teaches the Dhamma of removing the ignorance, they want to listen and they want to understand the meaning. Now, people People generally say, somebody you go on the street and you say, you are ignorant person, they will get angry. What are you saying? But then here people come and listen here, or any vihara they go, or meet the monks, or go to the meditation retreat, or whatever. People, we talk about avijja. Okay, your mind has avijja, your mind has ignorance. People want to listen, and that is special. The fact that people want to listen, and the fact that they want to understand the meaning, what it really means. What is ignorance? I have been thinking maybe I am wise, but you are saying I have ignorance. And what is my ignorance? Please tell me. I want to understand. So this itself is the fourth special thing that happens with the arising of a Sammasambuddha. So these are the four special things, incredible things, amazing things that happens. One is people try to understand, listen about, understand what is non-clinging. They want to understand about the mana and letting go of the mana. They want to understand. They want to understand about excitement and also non-excitement and letting go of the excitement. And they also want to understand about ignorance and abandoning of ignorance. So these are very, very special. The um, the clinging, or the mana, or the excitement, or the avijja. These are the things that are responsible for the birth, repeated birth and death and suffering, the whole cycle of samsara. And these are the things that people generally on their own may not understand, even if they have some level of wisdom. Only when the Sammasambuddhas arise and then they teach the Dhamma, then only somebody has to be a Sammasambuddha, or somebody has to be a Pacceka Buddha to understand it by themselves without anybody. To do that, they need to fulfill their paramis for very, very long time and make a lot of real hard work for extremely long time to become a Sammasambuddha or a Pacceka Buddha. For anybody else, the teachings are required, and these teachings, so that's why the Buddha is saying, with the arising of a Sammasambuddha, these four things, though this is very uncommon and rare and not seen in the general day-to-day life of the people, when the Buddhas arise and teach these things, people want to listen, people want to understand, and people, they want to really put it into practice. And this is also one of the great, and say, spiritual power of a Sammasambuddha, that he can make people listen to something which they wouldn't otherwise listen, or they would probably not even interested in listening. He can make them listen. He can make them listen even after 2000, more than 2500 years of his Mahaparinibbana. Still people are listening, right? So that is the power, spiritual power, one of the spiritual powers. I mean, it is that the power, spiritual powers of a Sammasambuddha is infinite. We cannot even measure. But this is one of the powers, that he is still making people listen to these amazing things. And still people are trying to understand, still people are trying to practice, because it is so powerful and special and wise and elevating. So with this, I will conclude the Dhamma discourse today. May you remember these 4 points, and may you put them into practice and understand deeper. Share the beings with all the share merits with all the beings.
Thank you very much, Sugatananda Bhanteji, for this very, very insightful Dhamma discourse from Acchariya-abbhuta. Acchariya-abbhuta. What are the Adbhutas and Ascharyas? These are Ascharyas. You are listening. That is Acharya. In this samsaric world, you are coming here and listening to the Dhamma. That itself is Acharya. You are willing to remove, okay, overcome greed, hatred, ignorance. That is Acharya. Because innumerable are beings which are going totally in the opposite way. In search of happiness, they are running, in fact, towards suffering. because of ignorance. So to have this thought, to come to here, listen, this is my mind, I want to know my mind, I want to overcome. Really, really Acharya. So thank you very much, Bhanteji. Um, Today, as you are aware, we have Mahabodhi centers uh, in 22 places in India. And in Karnataka, we have in Mysore, in our Narsipura, Tumkur, KGF, T Narsipura, and in Telangana, in Hyderabad, in Andhra, we have in Vishakhapattanam, then in Buddha Gaya, then in northeastern states. In Arunachal Pradesh, we have 7 centers. In Tripura, we have 4, and in Assam, 1. So this was a long journey of Bada Bhanteji, visualizing a long future for Buddha Shasana, for Mahabodhi Society, and that is how he started these centers. And now they are developing further and further, and these centers are having small sub centers, because this is, as we said, Acharya and Adbhuta. There are people who would like to listen to the Dhamma. Just recently, in just few days back, one Upasaka has offered a piece of land in Changlang, very, very special place in Arunachal Pradesh. And he died, and he just died day before yesterday. He was wishing and wishing, and he was inviting, oh, please come, I am old, I am sick, I may die, please come and take this. But we also have limits. No, we cannot take with because of the manpower and other things. But anyway, our Bhante, Jnanapala Bhante, went and received just few days back. And after that, he passed away. I hope he surely was very satisfied, because he was wishing that for 25 years, not 1 or 2 years. He offered to some other monks, and they also blessed him, but they could not take it, and like that. So you see, sometimes you want to do dana, but then the opportunities are not there. Not all the time these opportunities come. Anyway, he died. We hope that he must have been very satisfied, because his 25 years wish has been fulfilled to do something to the Buddha Shasana. He is not even Buddhist in our common sense. But he had that wish to follow or to support Buddha Shasana. So, like that, with good wishes, so many people have come, and that is how it is. Mahabodhi has been developing, not just Mahabodhi Society, so many viharas or centers, meditation centers, and Dhamma centers are coming up in India. So, in Arunachal Pradesh, from day one, we have wonderful family here. uh, Mr. Singh and Odi Amma. From day one, they have joined Mahabodhi Society and have been helping us very much. So they are here today, and we would like to welcome and honor them. Sanjay,